What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today I wanted to kind of take a look back at the books I've read so far this year and see what has really stood out to me. So as of this video coming back out, I am back to work. My summer off has come to an end, which I am disappointed. I loved being off all summer, but I'm also, excited to get back into things. But I wanted to take a look back at the books that I've been reading because I've overall had this feeling that the books I've read so far this year have been off. Not necessarily like off, but when I look back at books I've read in prior years, like sometimes there's like a theme. You can tell when I've gotten into like a mood, like where certain things are hitting, some things are not hitting. And with this year, it seems like sometimes things hit, sometimes things don't. I feel like I've read a lot of books that I don't normally read, like especially getting into that more adult fantasy instead of sticking to that YA, which is interesting. So I took a look, and a lot of what I pulled, well, all of what I pulled are 5-star reviews. I do tend to give a lot of things 5 stars, which people have pointed out, and that's just because I know what I like. If I know I'm not gonna like the book, I'm not gonna read it. Sometimes things catch me off guard. Normally they're still kind of okay, but that's why I very rarely give like 2-star, 1-star reviews. I pulled a couple of them. I didn't pull all of my 5-star reviews, but the very first one, so this one is from January when I read Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. That one, that was good. That was some good like YA fairy tale storytelling. And I do think like the trend for this year is that I am being drawn more to those because this is a YA story, but it also kind of leans a little bit into new adult. It's kind of similar to one of the other books that we'll talk about in a little bit, but this book was so fun. Like I would definitely be interested in reading more from Margaret Owen. Like I kind of feel like I should be seeking that out, but the fairy tale vibes were so good. Like I love the Goose Girl. You don't get a ton of retellings of the Goose Girl, so that was just really, really awesome. Next one stands out a little bit with the ones that I pulled, so it's Me, Moth by Amber McBride. This book was just so lyrically, like, really stunning. It had a trope in it that I did really, really enjoy, like, by the end of it. It's very short. It's one of these that just kind of hit me. I finished it on the way to work, and I was like, I'm emotionally unstable. It gave me emotional damage. It is a contemporary novel. It's a little bit paranormal, like a little bit spiritual, which normally I'm kind of like, I don't know. But with this book, it worked really, really well. And I haven't really found anything that's quite hit the same so far this year. The next ones I read back to back. The first one is A Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornichek. I loved this. Like, listen, I love Madeline Miller. I love Circe. And to me, like, whenever I'm talking about folklore or mythology, I'm always gonna go back to the standard that is Circe and the Witch's Heart, because it was Norse mythology, it was Loki, it was just this retelling of all these stories that we have known from a perspective that we don't really get to see, and it was beautifully done. Like, honestly, anytime I read anything now, I'm like, well, it's no Witch's Heart. Like, she has set the bar, and I am still hunting and searching for more of that type of storytelling. And on top of that, right afterward, I listened to A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. Again, really short, but it was about the brides of Dracula. And again, like, it was just told from a really interesting perspective, like from the wife of this really prominent character throughout their life, the trials and tribulations of all of it as a duo. Those were really fun because you get that Norse like mythology, but then you get that really good like horror monster. Very good. That was a really, really nice vibe there in April, because then we moved into May and we got Brotherhood by Mike Chen. So Star Wars so far this year has not been wowing me. I wasn't super in love with Wave 3 of the High Republic. We are about to hit Phase 2, so the first wave of Phase 2. And I am really excited because they're kind of shaking things up. But so far this year with Star Wars, like, nothing has like hooked me. Brotherhood was really, really good. And as of this video coming out, Padawan by Kirsten White should be out, and I am looking forward to that. If it's anything like Brotherhood, like giving you those really good Obi-Wan feels, like kind of tying into the show, I think it's going to be really awesome. I really, really liked everything that was in Brotherhood. I think just seeing him and Anakin interact, it's just It's really good. The prequels are kind of having a nice resurgence right now. Alex and I on the podcast Lipstick and Lightsabers have gone back and we're, you know, rewatching the original trilogy, but like the Clone Wars era is just really hitting right now. This one I debated adding, okay? So, you know, not too long ago, beginning of the month, I read A Forgery of Roses. And listen, is it good? Is it the best book ever? No, but I loved it because it just hit those tropes that I really enjoy. I think the vibes, the aesthetic was really nice. The magic system just was working for me, and it was a lot of fun. Like, that's kind of what I've been looking for with a lot of my YA reads lately. It's just kind of that fun adventure type of thing. And like, yeah, this book does have angst, like it is, you know, like broody and like that kind of thing, but the romance was really like quirky and kind of fun, which just made it a really enjoyable read. And that's what I've been really looking for. So like, would I recommend A Forgery of Roses? Like, yeah, if you want to have a good time, but don't expect it to like blow your socks off or anything. It's just for a fun time. And lastly, these are actually like two very recent books for me. So For the Throne, one of my most anticipated books of the year, that's by Hannah Witten. That was so good. Such a good conclusion to For the Wolf. I loved seeing Neve's side of the story. It was absolutely beautiful. It totally blew me away. Like, just, she did such an amazing job. She's writing a book right now called The Foxglove King. I am so ready to get more from her. But then I think my favorite book of the year so far, and one that completely took me by surprise, is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. Like, I knew I was gonna like it. I knew from the title, I knew from the description, I knew from the cover, like this was gonna be a book for me, that I was gonna like it. But it still completely shocked me because it's Shrek. Like, it's Shrek, but like it's not Shrek. Like, it's so weird. Like, the best way to describe this book is that it is a fairy tale. It is like that kind of like new adult fantasy, but it has like such a Shrek vibe because it's a failed godmother. It's this weird witch with a chicken with a demon in it, and it's this princess who's a nun and like all that kind of stuff. And it was funny, but it was still like that mood and that atmosphere. Like, it was just so nuanced. It was so complex, and it was so short. Like, it was only 7 hours. It just was so good. So right now, Nettle and Bone is my favorite of the year. Currently, as of making this video, I'm about halfway through The Blood Trader, which is the last book in the Prison Healer series, and it's really good. It is really good. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those books that I like and everybody's like, why did you like this? It's slow. It's so much exposition. She's whiny. Kiva needs to get it together. Why? She just gives A+ to everything. And like, listen, I am invested in this story, okay? Kiva and Jaren, OTP, ride or die. Rhysand, who? I only know Jaren Valentis. Okay, so I'm really enjoying it. I might take a break now that Padawan's out. I haven't decided yet. Obviously, by this point, you guys will probably already know that. And I'm currently listening to The Electric Kingdom, which... Okay, so I got Electric Kingdom and The Seven Wives of Evelyn Hugo at the same time. I know. But I wanted like a break. I wanted a break. This was like a contemporary sci-fi-y, like a girl and her dog lost in the woods type of story. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. It's weird. It's weird. And like, not like in a good way. Like, at first I'm like, oh, this is weird in a good way. And now I'm kind of like, this is weird in a bad way. So I don't know, but I am really excited because there's some good stuff coming out with the rest of the year. There's some really good things coming down the pipeline. I do have books that I need to get to. Like, I know we have more in the Curse So Dark and Lonely series. What is it? Forging Silver into Stars. I have it. I've had it. I just haven't started it yet. I'm a little nervous to start it. So maybe I'll be reading that one soon. I do have an Entangled Teen book that they sent me, The Valkyrie's Daughter, which I am excited to get to. So there's a lot of good things coming down the pipeline. With school being back in session, I might have to drop down to one video a week. We'll just see how it goes, because I'll be listening to audiobooks a lot. It's just really hard for me to read physical books. Like, I haven't gotten my routine down yet to where I can still be reading at the same time, like within my schedule. So hopefully, you know, after this whole year, I will kind of be more settled within my like day-to-day, my routine and all that kind of stuff. But for now, that is kind of where we're at. I am excited to see what's going to come next, and I hope you guys are too. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Talk Books with me every week. That's everything I got for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!